194.5 kilometers of racing today, and 176 riders at the start.
As suddenly they fan out and the rider falls in the middle and takes out one of the riders from AG2R. It was a CCC rider who yellow jerseys for Jumbo there. That is Dylan Groenewegen, who is down. Peter Sagan is going to open up with all houses here. It's Michael Matthews on the right, Sagan going through the middle, but as they race towards the line here, it looks to me as though Sonny Crambello in the red, but no, it is not Crambello in the red, but coming up on the line, it is, well...
They're back in the room. It's going to be a little strange. I mean, really the thing about, they've been working for months to deliver Dylan.
And he's come through what is his 5th win of the year, but he's never won a race in a Grand Tour before in his life. And Mike Turnus gets the victory for Young.
An important one, a 27.6 kilometre team time trial around the Belgian capital. Now Team Ineos had a chaotic lead up to the Tour, losing Chris Froome to injury. But with defending champion Geraint Thomas and rising star Egan Bernal, they still boast 2 of the race favourites, setting the tone here with a fine opening effort of 29 minutes and 18 seconds. Good effort from Thibaut Pinot & Co, only 12 seconds down on Ineos. France's other big hope though, Romain Bardet, shipped a minute with AG2R Le Mondial. Katusha Alpecin were the first to threaten Ineos' time. Jumbo-Visma meanwhile were on a mission, going full gas to defend Mike Turnesson's yellow jersey. They had 16 seconds in hand at the second checkpoint. Wout van Aert leading the remaining 5 riders to the line as they made it back-to-back wins. Now 2 wins in 2 days, and they saw off Team Ineos here by a remarkable 20 seconds. Low party at the top of the standings, with Jumbo-Visma occupying the top 5 spots. Gianni Moscon's the highest placed of the Ineos riders, 30 seconds back, with Elliot.
215 kilometers, 134 miles straight south until you get just outside of Epernay. And these are the climbs that everybody, a lot of riders getting dropped now. So really tough stage so far, and getting tougher as they go closer to the finish line. Chasing this man, Julian Alaphilippe, trying to go solo from a long ways out.
And he's gambled he can make it to the finish. 33 seconds, they are not increasing him. The lead car, the Tour de France, has flown past our windscreen, otherwise he's going to make the right turn, which is only 100 metres away.
Well, if Alaphilippe gets to our window, and there he goes with that advantage. No way they're catching Alaphilippe today.
He's behind, but it's all too late. He made the move, he won the day.
Older, but nonetheless, and you have to remind yourself, you've seen that 26 seconds to second place, and you have to remember that he did that by himself. Really, I just keep on scratching my head how he did that on the national road all by himself, and then really still having the amount of horsepower left to go over the
Ooh, it's a new one.
Well, he is new. I mean, he's a cyclocross rider just until he was a world champion 2 times, and this year, first Grand Tour, first.
A straight shot to Nancy, long stage, 213.5 kilometers in the saddle. Doing the lead out for Viviani.
There's Viviani.
There he is,
dodging in and out in the blue jersey.
1
kilometers to go. It's the yellow jersey trying to lead out for his teammate. I tell you, the yellow jersey is a good sprinter, but he's moved safely out of the way to open up the sprint. 800 meters to go. Viviani has got to come from a 5th place position here. Boxed in on the entrance. Viviani through on the inside as he goes shoulder to shoulder with UAE. And that, the rider is 126. That's Christophe beaten on the line. Viviani made it all too easy at the end of the day. It's his first ever win in a stage of the Tour de France. He's not been back since 2014.
The race course, 2 Cat 3s and 2 very difficult Category 2 climbs. A lot of King of the Mountains points up for grabs.
They line up for the finish. Where is Sagan? Because he's the man to beat in a race like this. He's going to have to come through on the barriers though. And even Julian Alaphilippe thinks he might still have a chance as they race up towards the line. The final lead out now, the break on the left here, and now goes Sagan just off camera as he comes through. Boy, he made sure of this one as he races to the line. Trentin in 2nd place, or is he going to make it as the white jersey took him on towards the line? No doubt about the winner, Bob. Peter Sagan rode a perfect race today.
Peter Sagan dominating the sprint. It's his first stage win of this year's Tour de France in brilliant fashion. His team worked so hard throughout the day. Great win for their squad and Peter Sagan.
160.5 kilometers of racing today. 175 riders at the start, 1 non-starter. Number 112, Patrick Bevan of Team CCC.
6.9 Ks. Gradients in the top over 23%. So steep, some of the steepest climbs in all of professional cycling. Collected riding by the Ineos squad. I'm surprised to see that, but not sensing any panic so far. Here's our 2 leaders. It flattens out a little bit and then kicks up savagely for the last kilometer. 13% still on pavement, then 11%, and then 20% on the dirt.
Here's the bad road now. We'll take you back to Fausto Coppi in 1952 on Alpe d'Huez. Tremendous bike riding, and now the yellow jersey is thinking, I can still keep my yellow jersey. It's all about time. Pino is sat on his back wheel.
Last 50 meters, look how steep they are, Phil. Just a few more meters to the finish line between Dylan Toombs and Tour de France glory.
Rob, he cannot believe it. The shake of their heads. He's going to win the stage, and he has won it. Somebody catch that man.
Look at Alaphilippe attacking.
Oh, this man says, you're not having my jersey. Watch the clock. He needs 1:25 over this rider. Well, no more, because he didn't get the 10-second win bonus. Come on, dig in. It reminds me of the days of Thomas Voeckler when he tried to save the yellow jersey and did against Lance Armstrong.
Geraint Thomas getting the better of Julian Alaphilippe just before the finish line. Thibaut Pinot trying to get back on terms to Geraint Thomas.
I'm not so sure Ciccone hasn't done this. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait. I think Ciccone may have got it by a couple of seconds. 105 to Maurice, 144 Thomas, 146 Pinot. I don't know if we've got any more, but it looks as though we're going a little bit further back now.
But some very surprising.
Overall standing is confirmed. Ciccone is the new leader of the Tour de France by just 6 seconds. Alaphilippe just couldn't quite hold on.
Medieval City was the start town a few hours ago. Cat 4 taken out by the breakaway, a Cat 3 and another Cat 4 climb still on the race course, but the closing mile is almost as flat as a pancake. So there is TJ very slow to get up and obviously hitting that warning barrier, but it's not going to be an easy day.
They look like grazes more than a deep cut there. The Groenewegen on the left, Sagan goes to the middle, Caleb Ewan rushing up on the right with quite a flourish. It is going to be his boy. Well, that'll go to the photo, but now. Oh, it wasn't half.
Oh, so close.
On the road to Saint-Etienne today, that's the bridge of Saint-Laurent. There might well be no change in the race lead tonight. De Gent now will consider the victory. Can he survive? Just under 8 miles to the finish. Back in, gets round that corner. It's a 5-second bonus and he's 6 seconds behind. He can't take the lead as Pinot tries to challenge him here. Alaphilippe gets the 5 seconds. He's now 1 second behind him. If they know now it's flat out, 1.3 miles for the leader to the finish. Get yellow, but he's been the champion of the Tour de France today. This is the man who will get yellow, Julian Alaphilippe. So he'll get a second stage win in the Tour de France, but this one, he cannot believe it. 200 kilometers, I've won an incredible stage. And behind, Thibaut is taking on Alaphilippe, who will get third. It makes no difference. Julian Alaphilippe is back in yellow. Riding a great tour just now from New Zealand, and the Jumbo-Visma team is now into fourth place.
Pretty solid tailwind is predicted to blow throughout today's stage, so should be a pretty fast average speed. There is this tough Category 1 climb, so if the break...
So they've caught him at 9.4 miles to go. 8 men now in the lead from the original 15.
Pulselberger now paying for those efforts. 15 kilometers from the finish.
A kick, because I think the Belgian will go first, and he's going right now. Thijs Benoot gone. Impey wants to give him a lead. As he comes across, Impey takes for his back wheel. They'll come off this bottom bend. Daryl Impey's got some power in those legs. He jumps away. He says, I'm the champion of South Africa. I am the winner of today's stage of the Tour de France. Welcome back. The Tour de France today goes through the beautiful area of the Aveyron as we head to Alpe on the Tour de France, presented by Rocket Mortgage.
And the teammates of Thibaut Pinot really going to have to scramble to get back on terms.
Another man caught out, Richie Port, in that group as well as Thibaut Pinot. The last man to launch in red will be Matthews, followed by Caleb Ewan, Sonny Corbelli, and there's plenty of moves coming up, and there's that Wout van Aert who's trying a dig on the right. Caleb Ewan is going. They boxed out Peter Sagan, and Viviani has come from the right, from absolutely nowhere. Viviani and Wout van Aert go to the line, and it goes to the finish. And I'm not sure, but he seems to think he's won it. I wonder if he has. Wout van Aert may have used this again, I think, came across in that. Yes, he'll have got 5th place second.
It's close, but it's a country mile if you're Elia Viviani. Wout van Aert, an explosive acceleration, and when he went, nobody had an answer. Anything can happen today, even the breakaway succeeding. 2 climbs out on the race course before the sprint point in Gaillac. A Cat 3, a Cat 4. Tim Wellens, a handy lead in that. And
Stage 11 of the Tour de France between Alpe and Toulouse. 167 kilometers of racing today. 170 riders at the start. 1 non-starter, number A188. 188, Rick Zabel, Katusha Opperson. 4 riders have managed to break away.
They're waiting. This is Reini Janssen van Rensburg on the front, and his sprinter. Final drive to the line. He's going to have to go now, Groenewegen. And chasing him is Caleb Ewan. And oh dear me, they almost sliced out one of the riders there, but here comes Viviani. Ewan is going. Can he find the legs to go over the top? It's gone to the photo again, but he thinks this time. Look at this. Oh, it is. Not since 1994 we've gone this deep in the Tour de France and never have someone win twice. Another different winner today. Caleb Ewan in tears at the finish as he beats Dylan Groenewegen. Today's stage of the Tour de France we continue, presented by Pocket Mortgage. We're heading into the Pyrenees today, and Yates putting the backs into this because 19 miles largely descending. They could stay away. This is a big move by Yates here.
Straight away, so timing is going to be absolutely critical for the stage win.
The finish is closing in. The Spanish flags are on the rails. Yates sits all and everything for the team. They were hoping to get Trentin in the sprint. It had to be Yates in the end. He's going to go. He's gone through on the track. He's come round that bend. He now will see the finish. Watch the switch. He's got the lead right where he wants it, beginning to hold it. It's a long way to the line, bringing them down the barrier here as the flags of Finland fly. This is a final desperate moment by Bilbao, and he hits the line, and he gets it right on the line. Today, the race of truth, the time trial here in the beautiful city of Pau.
Pay special attention to the second one at the Côte d'Esquillots. That is a tough little climb.
The man who won the Tour de France a year ago, Geraint Thomas, he's had a perfect first 12 days of the Tour. He's lost only 1 minute 12 seconds to the next man to go. Watch this. As he comes around the right out, he clips the barriers.
Hits that little...
no, there's no doubt he was coming home with the best time so far.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, no, that's a really, real unfortunate situation. I don't think you can see another shot of that, but he's come around that bend, clipped the barriers.
They have to move those cars out of the way. The next rider will be coming soon.
They've got to get these out of the way. They can't stay and wait. They're going to have to get Marshall.
Just a hint.
Stephen Kruijswijk is on his way to the finish, and he hasn't arrived there yet. He won't be far away. This is the yellow jersey. Oh, what a ride. This man is really living with it. Probably the best time to hit the finishing line anyway. He's challenging Thomas de Gent, who has led for so long. Time of Thomas de Gent has stood for virtually the whole day is about to be surpassed. Is it still going to be a similar gap? Yes, it is. As Thomas comes home, the time to beat is 35 minutes 14 seconds, and there's only one man left. Time gap here, 1 minute to get up this hill and through the finish. This would be the ride of his life to win the time trial of the Tour de France. Is there Eddie? He's flying up here like a scorched rabbit as he gets up towards the summit. Will he make the good gear change? Look at him round the top there. He is on top. He is the very sole reason why the crowds this year on the roadside of the Tour de France are growing by day, by day, by day. 35.14 to beat. He does it by 14 seconds. They were absolutely unbelievable final kilometers.
The ride of his life, absolutely thrilling for Alaphilippe. The first neutral part, but two very tough climbs. There's a Cat 4 early, 1 point up for grabs, and then the Col de Soulor, a very tough Category 1, and of course, the Tourmalet, the beast.
And you catch your riders over it.
Alaphilippe still there.
And not looking bad, he's grimacing, yes, but he's still there, as you say.
And if it came down to a sprint, I would give him the advantage over anybody else in this front group.
Now, Geraint Thomas, number 1, was on the back. I'd like to see his face right now. I think Thomas is hurting. There, look, he is on the back. 1 kilometre to go. Last year's winner has lost the ground. It's a big effort by Geraint here. And looking over his shoulder is George Bennett, wondering where on earth has Thomas gone. He's digging so deep, Julien Alaphilippe, but that yellow jersey, he knows the crowd are cheering for him. There's the bonuses for you. If Alaphilippe can take a few seconds bonus plus the time gap over Thomas, he's going to be feeling pretty good. Thibaut Pinot, he's the one that tried to take it earlier. They brought him back, not this time. Look at that gap.
Great acceleration by Thibaut Pinot for the stage win and move up in the overall standings.
Thibaut Pinot has done it. He crosses the line in first place. He'll move up a little bit tonight. The yellow jersey gets another time bonus, and on plus that, he gets a time gap as well. Everybody knows now we're counting down the yellow jersey at the moment.
30 seconds behind for Geraint Thomas. That is unexpected and a bit disastrous. He's already 1 minute and 26 seconds behind. 30 seconds, wow. He'll be 2 minutes behind Alaphilippe at the end of the day.
This is what we have so far. Alaphilippe increases his lead. He's now more than 2 minutes ahead of Geraint Thomas. And for the last 2 days, we've expected Thomas to take over the lead. Stefan Kruijswijk is third. Bernal climbs back up today to 4th place. And Thibaut has come up into 6th place here. Uran is up to 7. They've all come up tonight. Welcome back to Tour de France on day 15 today as we see the event. Pinot is let loose to chase Landa.
Egan Bernal, a master at his riding at his own tempo on the climbs, going steady. They're about to catch Alaphilippe, so Geraint Thomas pacing himself well.
Wout Poels has brought up the defending champion, Geraint Thomas. Now those men are back together again with Kruijswijk. The top 3 riders in the Tour are there. The vicious days of the Alps next week. 500 to go. 10 seconds time bonus awaits. He doesn't need any time bonuses, Yates. He wants the stage win. 2 fingers, 2 wins for Simon Yates. Now the battle for 2nd place. These guys can't finesse. They need time. Where is the maillot jaune? He'll keep his maillot jaune, but he will lose time. But how much? Up to the line, he's losing 24, 25. Gets to the line, that's about it. So let's say 28, 27 seconds he's conceded. But he's still in yellow, Bob.
He survived, Barry.
There we are. 1 minute after 61 hours of racing. 1:35 to last year's winner, Geraint Thomas. Kruijswijk stays 3rd. Thibaut comes up.
2 categorized climbs, a Cat 4 and a Cat 3, shouldn't disrupt the overall standing.
Geraint Thomas, who has just crashed right now. Oh, not too sure what happened there, but I need to see that again. He comes in there, going to... I can't make that out because it's almost if he's T-boned by the rider behind. But
how much damage that might have done to Geraint Thomas.
He's taking a nasty knock on the elbow there. Just checking out who's going to do what here now, because at 1 kilometre to go. Long, lovely run up to the line, 200 metres now. Morkov gives way to Ricchesi. Ricchesi, is he going to go for it? Is he going to move over? Because as they come to the line there, it looks to me as though it is Caleb Ewan. He looks so much bigger from the angle. Caleb Ewan has just won.
All squad.
And 4th place there for Peter Sagan, so he gets a huge sack full of points in that green jersey. Pont de Gare, where we've never started before. We're heading to Gap, but it's a tough climb, this one. The wind is cross at the moment. An elevation gain of almost 1,000 feet here. And Trenton's made his move.
Almost forgotten is the peloton.
Oh, what's going on there?
Tony Martin trying to get out of the way and almost getting Luke Rowe to come to grief there.
That's not normal. Well, there's no sprint coming up now. This is Trentin coming home. Trentin has won the day. Now for the Alps. For the next 3 days, it'll be very different tomorrow. For the next 3 days in the Tour de France, they scale the highest mountains in the Alps. It's going to be tough, it's going to be hot, and it's the Tour de France.
This is back in the field, and finally some action, some firepower. Egan Bernal is the first man to attack.
They had no choice. Now Dylan van Baarle has gone. The world champion Valverde has gone onto his back wheel. The two of them are pulling away. I wonder if Geraint Thomas has told Bernal to give his best shot right now, because the yellow jersey is still right there on the front. Still full of fight. And well, the man that they're tipping, as they did with Quintana years ago, to be a winner of the Tour de France in the future.
Fans have been absolutely phenomenal so far. Let's hope they continue to do that. There goes Geraint Thomas.
Here goes Geraint Thomas to try and gain time now. Another show of defiance. He's gone pretty close to the summit, but every second counts. It means they're going to dive off this mountain and take a lot of risk. So this is Bardet, Quintana, Bardet, Lutsenko, Bernal.
Richie Porte hanging tough on the wheel of Julian Alaphilippe. Alaphilippe sprinting out of those corners, starting to show a little bit of fatigue. That's understandable. He was in trouble in Prades d'Albis. Oh no, there goes Alaphilippe losing contact.
But he's almost up. He's got to hang on in there, because Pinot is the man turning the screw on this group now. He's pushing for the summit. There's the flag of Scotland flying on our left, as well as the yellow jersey. His shoulders rocking, but he never gives up, this rider. He knows he's nearly at the top of the Galibier. He's being hit from all quarters now, but he must have anticipated this. Thibaut is coming back to Geraint Thomas, who ran on his back wheel. Situation at the moment, Alaphilippe is still the leader. Bernal is up into second place with the inside again. This man is going to hack his way through to the front, and then we'll see just how good Thibaut Pinot is at descending at the front, because he's going right through. He's letting them all know he's back. Watch this now. This is like a Formula One race car.
Well, Julian Alaphilippe coming on the inside of Mikel Landa. Mikel Landa a little shocked to see him on his shoulder after such short amount of descending. Thibaut Pinot, this is going to be a real battle all the way to the line.
Pinot has led from the front here into the streets of Balois. This is going to be a glorious win for the Colombian. He is back. If this man gets to the front, he might ride away from Pinot.
Most certainly. He has the ability. He's done that many times in the past, and he's used his skills on descending to win stages before in the Tour, and he's trying again to distance his rivals in the GC. Wow, what a day of racing for the yellow jersey.
He breaks late. Look at the gap he's taken from Pinot there. He just braked late going out the corner. He sprinted away. The others, I don't think, can match this man going downhill as they come up towards the finishing line. Big effort. Kruijswijk comes in, so there will be a slight change in the overall standings. It's round 2 of our 3-day battle in the Alps of the Tour de France. As we get closer to Paris,
I've never experienced so much tension and expectation for a single stage in the Tour de France, because we have so many overall contenders still very close in the overall standing. And today, all the marbles, it's going to be a fantastic stage.
Jersey's just got to hope and hang on now.
Mikel Landa in blue trying to get across to Egan Bernal in the white jersey. And that's not a good sign when Julian Alaphilippe looks over his shoulder at the riders behind. Losing time. He's losing time like he did yesterday in the Galibier, but it's further down the mountain. Just looking up at a few riders, including Landa. In front of him is Julian Alaphilippe, but around the next couple of corners is Geraint and then Egan Bernal, and Bernal is now closing in on Warren Barguil, the first man on the road.
This man has hurt himself beyond belief, but he's still gaining time. Well, they've always talked about Bernal since the day he came into World Tour cycling as the man of the future. Today, he's proving that point. Keep an eye on the clock. It's about right on the clock there as he comes over. It is 2:07. He only needs to pull back 40-odd seconds on the descent to keep his yellow jersey, and he's well capable. And if it rains, I think it'll be an even bigger advantage. Alaphilippe shaking those legs.
And if he can catch the group ahead of him, they're a minute in front. That's not impossible for a man of the caliber of descending as Julian Alaphilippe has shown himself to be over the years.
Alone, the youngest rider in the race, in the white jersey for the best young rider, looking for yellow.
Bernal is riding really well, getting through that S-bend very quickly, back up to speed, stomping his biggest gear. He does need to grab some nutrition. Let's hope he can do that in between the corners.
He's flying down this hill.
Don't be surprised if he catches the riders in front of him before the bottom of the Isran, and that'll be very tricky. Wow.
The hailstone, they're the hailstones on the road. That's just cold. It's cold, you see, from that high falling,
Now, if they don't melt, the extreme weather protocol might come into play, and the officials are going to have to make a decision before the peloton gets here. I mean, there's clouds.
I think he's coming closer, but look, if this road is on the route.
They're trying to clear this stretch of road.
Just a minute, I'm getting some message here. Let's go inside the race with Steve Perino. Steve.
We just heard, I don't know if you heard it over race radio, but they canceled the stage. They just said they canceled the stage. We're pulling off the road.
Wait a minute, I'm just hearing, Steve. They're taking the times at the top of the Col de l'Iseron. Well, that's going to be a bit tough on the yellow jersey because he was 2 minutes 7 seconds behind on top of the mountain. And he's ridden his heart out to close that gap. And they've taken the decision to stop the race and take the time at the top of the Col de l'Iseron. Race has been neutralized, which means it's now effectively cancelled for the day, abandoned because the time's taken at the top of the col, which means that Bernal will be the new yellow jersey, because at that time, according to our watches, the yellow jersey was 2 minutes and 7 seconds behind. Of course, he was a lot closer, I think, when they finally brought this race to a halt. Last day in the Alps, a veritable sprint now to Paris on this shortened stage.
And brutal ascension, 20 miles, over 6,000 feet gained. It's going to be a day for the ages. I think there's a lot of pent-up energy in the peloton as well, and all to play for in the overall standings. 5 riders that you said.
Yep.
With a chance to win the Tour on the last competitive day of the race for the GC. What a brilliant Tour de France, in spite of some horrible weather yesterday.
Christian Prudhomme in the car there.
There's Julian Alaphilippe in trouble now at the back of the peloton. Podium in serious danger now. Alaphilippe has to collect himself, try to find a better rhythm, and try to limit his losses, but he looks to be in serious trouble at the moment.
There's the yellow hanging on, and the yellow jersey sitting behind number 1, his teammate, his team captain, Geraint Thomas, the face of Julian Alaphilippe. The riders seem to think he's fallible when the roads get steeper, and they turn the screw a little tighter.
Well, with 30 seconds in hand, Nibali should be able to hold on for the stage win. And so in the next kilometer, he needs to hold on to 6 seconds.
I think it's okay. He can see the banner now. The moment is going to turn to a smile. He cannot believe it. He promised the Italians he'd do it. He did it. Well done, Vincenzo Nibali.
And a stage win early in the Tour for Julian Alaphilippe.
Look at the crowd.
They will cheer him all the way to the finish line. A real hero.
And
Thomas.
The salute. The congratulations to the yellow jersey, the youngest rider from Colombia in this Tour. Tomorrow will win the Tour de France. And congratulated by his teammate Geraint Thomas, who won this race last year. If they go to the finishing line tomorrow, first and second, they will win $750,000. Egan Bernal, what a ride. And Geraint Thomas, the last winner of the Tour, congratulates his young teammate. Welcome home.
today in the Tour de France. Egan Bernal, a deserving winner of the Tour de France this year.
No question about that. We'll certainly give that one to you, Bob. And there he is, look, moving out. He's just made a start. We're still neutralised. He's talking to the man who held the yellow jersey for 2 weeks, Julien Alaphilippe. The champagne is coming out, and he's got very wide. Peter Sagan is getting in the mix in the all-green strip. The sprint has started here, and this is opened up now because this is Bosenhagen going for gold here. The former champion of Norway. They've tried daily to get a stage win. Bosenhagen is going to be passed here as they come toward, and the rush from Dylan Groenewegen. And I think Ewan on the right has got it. 3 wins for Caleb Ewan. That wasn't, but that is the man in our screen who has won the Tour de France for the Tour, for Colombia, and for the millions of people who will be leaping all over their country tonight, many of them here on the Champs-Élysées. The youngest man in the Tour de France has won. This is the champion team. They've only lost the Tour de France once since 2012. That was in 2014.
In the red jersey with the yellow highlights, Geraint Thomas.
He passes the trophy across to Egan. Egan Bernal becomes the first Colombian cyclist to win the Tour after 82 hours and 57 minutes of racing.